made a bunch of recipes. Maybe you've got a little bit of scrap meat left over. Maybe you've got a lot of scrap meat left over. It doesn't really matter because this next recipe is gonna stretch however much or little you've got. I'm talking about cheesy chicken enchiladas. They're gonna be juicy, they're gonna be spicy, and they're gonna stretch all that last little bit as far as the eye can see.
Life can be a struggle, but a good meal doesn't have to be. We can make creative, nutritious, and inventive dishes that won't break the bank. We'll eat well and save money, because that's what we do. Welcome to Struggle Meals.
I've got a poblano and I've got a red bell pepper. Cut off the top, cut down the side here. Really want to take all the seeds and veins out. All the heat is in the veins, so you can take the veins out, and that way you can control how much heat by adding spice after. So I'm just cutting these pretty thinly so they'll cook through very quickly. Let's get a little butter in a hot pan. The most elegant figure skaters. We're gonna throw our peppers in with the butter. I'll hit this with a little bit of salt to help break down the peppers and draw some moisture out. Let's chop a little garlic. So I always like to add the garlic when there's some other ingredients in the pan because I feel that they protect the garlic from burning. So now that the peppers have reduced in size, I'm gonna add some spices. Chili powder here, cumin, paprika, and some black pepper. This intensifies the flavors a lot more than just sprinkling these spices on at the end. I've got my shredded chicken here. This came from our carcass. This is what I've got left over. It doesn't matter if you've got a ton of chicken or a little bit of chicken. So I've got, I would say, about a cup and a half. It's time to add some broth. It's gonna make it extra juicy. And guess what? This came from our carcass too. Whoa, 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 whoa. Drop the stomp! So I'm really looking for all this liquid to be absorbed up by the chicken. I'm just gonna let it simmer for a sec. This has simmered and it looks great. We're gonna make a cheesy queso sauce. Some butter. I'm gonna add an equal amount of flour to my butter. All I'm looking for here is no lumps and to cook that raw flour taste out of the flour. Great, so I'll add some cream, just a little bit like this. I've got the heat on really low here. I'm looking for smoothness, but you can see how that butter and flour just absorbs this cream like it's nothing. It ain't cheesy sauce unless there's some cheese. So I'm gonna grate some up while I wait for the cream to come to a simmer. So I'm using some pepper jack cheese here. It's got a little extra spiciness. And it's really important that you grate your own cheese because if you buy pre-grated cheese, it's one, more expensive, and two, has all kinds of anti-caking agents that are not gonna work so well in this sauce, which we hope to be fluidious. So I see some bubbles on the edge of my sauce here. I'm gonna turn off the heat, and now I'm gonna add my cheese in a little bit at a time so it doesn't seize up. I'm whisking it for 10, 15 seconds until it melts, and then I'm adding a little bit more. Don't add it all at once. Coming in with the spoon, I just want you to see, look at how beautiful it is. It's not lumpy. It's velvety, it's fantastic. I've got some diced green chilies here. This is gonna bring a little bit of acidity. It's gonna add some color, and it's gonna give us a zing. For even more heat, hot sauce. Pour that in. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Boom, 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 boom. Take a test. Velvety, luxurious, and spicy at the end. All the components are ready for a perfect enchilada. Let's set up the assembly line. So we've got a baking dish here. We're gonna take a little bit of our queso. Just creating a little non-stick situation here in the bottom of our baking dish. Very nice. Boom, 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 boom. I've got a flour tortilla here. Now we fill our enchiladas. Let's take some queso and pour that right over top. We'll go like this here. I like to fold the whole thing over, kind of scooch it back, and then do that. Seam side down. They get the rest of our queso sauce right over top. I cover this up with foil. Bake this for 25 minutes like this covered, and then I'll rip that top off. We'll continue baking until that queso is nice and bubbly. Into the oven! Woo! This smells fantastic, but one cannot deny that it is quite rich. That's why I'm pouring some salsa verde over top. This is made with tomatillos and cilantro. Yes! This really looks fantastic. It's $2.98 a serving. It's salty, it's sweet, it's spicy, it's extra juicy, and it's creamy from that cheese. And you gotta remember, you can use a little bit of chicken or a lot of chicken. So this is highly flexible. It's gonna be great no matter what. So the flavor's there, the cost savings are there. This recipe's the whole enchilada.